The sci-fi horror flick Backrooms is the #1 movie in America right now. It shattered the record for best opening weekend for the studio A24. So who's the filmmaker behind this movie? A 20-year-old YouTuber. With only a $10 million budget, Kane Parsons filmed made $81 million domestically in the weekend ending May 31st. Globally, that number is $118 million. Parsons is now the youngest director with a #1 film globally. The content creator adapted the film from his viral YouTube series of the same name. At 20 years old, Parsons was born just a few months after YouTube was launched. In a recent article, New York Times chief Hollywood correspondent Brooks Barnes writes that Backrooms is part of a growing wave of breakout films from young directors who honed their skills on YouTube rather than inside the Hollywood ecosystem. And Barnes joins us now. Thank you so much for being here. So I saw a figure that shows 50% of Backrooms ticket buyers cited A24 as a main reason to see it. I mean, what does that tell you, and why is this seeing so much success?
A24, more than any movie company, has really fostered a relationship with young moviegoers, hiring directors that have never made a movie before, whether they come from a film festival experience making a short or a playwright or now YouTube videos. And so that for movies for us, by us ethos has really connected with Generation Z, teenagers, young 20s moviegoers, and it paid off this weekend, as we can see.
Well, and Steven Spielberg was, what, 26 when he directed Jaws? I mean, in your point, in your piece,
yeah.
You point out that most of the successes seen from these YouTube to Hollywood movies is in horror, which you note is the cheapest genre to produce. Are major studios not taking that genre seriously?
They were until the weekend. They weren't taking it seriously until the weekend, right? Like, oh, it's easy to dismiss. Horror is, cheap. It's pretty easy comparatively to express a horror idea in a short video, much more so than to convey Devil Wears Prada or something like that. And so, there was some skepticism going into the weekend, but with numbers like that, $82 million opening weekend on a movie that only cost $10 million and almost nothing to market, is something that every studio, dropped their jaw to. And also, I'd point out that there is a history of horror newcomers going on to direct very, very big movies. David Fincher, for example, was sort of the previous era of this. A previous era was MTV creating new voices in the 90s and early 2000s. So people like David Fincher came in, directed an Alien movie, horror, and went on to many things. James Wan came up with Saw and has directed one of the best performing Fast and Furious movies. So
I have to be quick with you on this, but some have said this democratizes the industry. Are you seeing that?
People think that will happen, right? Like whether it will happen, we'll see. But the great democratization of storytelling has definitely happened, right? YouTube, the audience, in many ways, has moved to YouTube from professional storytellers like in Hollywood, and so now this is an effort by Hollywood to bring that audience into the traditional, and YouTubers to grow and expand in their careers from videos to feature-length movies.
Brooks Barnes, thanks so much.
Sure.